Hey guys, Station X here, and today we are going to be taking a look at the Atari VCS. Now, this is a pretty interesting thing that I have here. Now, I don't typically get to unbox many consoles, but this was a special circumstance. Atari had this project for a little bit now where they were going to make a new console. I think this was like a Kickstarter, and they were able to release this thing, and it finally, I think about a year ago, it finally released. And so I never got it when it first came out, but I was finally able to get a hold of one, and I wanted to get the bundle because there are two different versions of this. There's the bundle that comes with the controllers you see here, and there's the console by itself. Now, why would they release a version without a controller? I don't know, but I was not gonna pay $60 for these controllers because I wanted both. And like, this is like a more of a modern controller, as you can see based off the picture, and then they did do like a modern version of the classic joystick controller based off like the original, but that one's also $60, and they really only added another button on the side right here. This button here, well, they kept this button, they added another one on the corner there, and then they added these two buttons. It's more so for like navigating menus and stuff. But yeah, like I was like not paying $60 for that. Yeah, that seemed a little too pricey for me. And there was only $100 difference. This is $400 or $399.99, and the one by itself is $299. So went with this one. Now, I own the Atari 2600, and I also own the Atari Jaguar. I own their first and last console they ever did. Of course, these are not the exact same like Atari that we knew from back in the day. There was some stuff with that, but you know, I'm pretty excited to see that they have a new console, and I know a little bit about some of the stuff that you could do with this. Did a little research on it beforehand. But we're gonna take a look at the side of the box to get like nice snapshots of the console and the controller. There's the top of it. Here we got some asteroids going on here. Oop. And the logo, and then we got the back of it here. Here we got some text. An icon reimagined. Atari returns to the living room with the Atari VCS, a completely modern gaming and video computer system, blending the best of consoles and PCs to delight a whole new generation of gamers and creators. So that right there is pretty much what the thing is about. This was trying to be bringing back the Atari 2600 feeling, but just in the modern age. And I believe they not only have original Atari games as such, but I'm pretty sure they also have like remakes of ones as well. They've had like newer versions of the old classics. But one thing I know is that you could put streaming services on there like Disney Plus and Netflix. You could put Discord on there. You can put Twitch. That was another big thing that they talked about in their trailer, was that you could use Twitch on it. There's PC mode, which you can pretty much put like Windows and stuff on that, and then you could have access to Steam if you wanted to. And they also have like their own game store that you could purchase stuff like more modern games, indie titles. Pretty much it's a set-top box, because obviously there's no discs in there. You can't put in a physical game and put like, yeah, it's all digital sort of thing. So, you know, probably not my favorite, but if you use it for PC and like PC purposes, then I mean, you know, if you don't have a PC or a laptop of any kind, then that might be a selling point for you. Let's just I guess we could just take a look at it right now. Just open this up here. Okay, got the box open. Just gonna pull these out. So here's the first thing. Pretty sure this is one of the controllers, and of course to continue that asteroids theme going on here, you got the name of the console, Atari VCS. this is the console, obviously. This is the biggest box in there. Be a little concerned if it's not. With all these boxes, you got the Asteroids theme going on here. I think those are both the same size, the two controller boxes. Now that we got everything out of the box, let's open up these controllers here. All right, this is the joysticks. Let's just move this a little bit. So, got the joystick here. Let's take that out. And here's the cable. I'm pretty sure it's like the regular, it's not USB-C or anything like that. But yeah, like that's the cable, and it's just like a little weird thing here. So I'm pretty sure it's not good news for the, yeah. You can see right here, they like pushed it in instead of just kind of leaving it kind of flush with the controller. So you're gonna need a specific type of cable if you end up losing this, because otherwise it's not gonna fit in. But at the very least, this cable is pretty common. It's not the standard one that we're using right now, but it's whatever. You got this nice gloss right here. You got the Atari logo. You got these two buttons right here. You got the classic single button red right here, the joystick, and a new button on the side right here. So they did add some buttons, and they're continuing this like layer sort of thing, this layer theme, because on the original Atari had like these grades and stuff on the console itself. So they're kind of putting that on all the controllers and stuff here, or at least for this one they are. And this actually pushes now. Is this a button? I don't know if that's a button or not, but moving on to this controller. This is the regular one, and the cable's in there too. It's the same cable. Get that out. You can see it. Yeah, same cable. Let's just move these out of the way. Get this controller out. And there we have the more modern controller. Now, right away, this feels like an Xbox controller. I think it even has like the same buttons, like RT, LT, RB, yeah. This really feels like an Xbox controller. The thumbsticks are the same. The buttons, now the buttons don't actually feel similar. They're a little, they're not as, I don't know, they're more clicky to me and not like the normal, the way how Xbox has it. You get the home button right here and it lights up. That's pretty neat. Got the D-pad, which is kind of gross. I don't like it. It's more of like a discs type thing, like a circle type D-pad instead of like a normal just plus sign D-pad. And it's got these bumps to at least try to let you know where you're pushing, but I could guarantee you're not gonna really have a fun time with that. It's just not a good D-pad. But yeah, otherwise it's the same, and the same deal here. I think it's even worse on this controller where it's like not flush with it. I don't know why they did that, but yeah. I also kind of like this like soul red trigger. I think it's kind of fun, but yeah, otherwise this really, it does feel pretty similar to a Xbox controller. So I mean, I feel like that's, I like, if you're a big fan of the Xbox controller like me, I don't see that as a bad thing, but some of you might not like that. So it's something to point out. And the main show right here, the console. Let's get that open right there. There's some instructions. And then voila. There it is right there. Got some other stuff. Got the cables in here. Got our power cable. It's a power brick, which not a big fan of those, but I mean, hey. The HDMI. Ooh. Of course, you can't have a modern console without an HDMI. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Toss that out. Let's get this console out of here. So there we go. the Atari VCS. It is a very similar design to the original Atari system, which is nice. If you're very nostalgic for that, this is going to be a really nice looking console for you. Got this nice red theme going on here. And you see you got your two USB ports, an HDMI, an Ethernet cable, AC cable, and the power button is on the back, which I'm not a big fan of. And this is the glossy one. They did have like a wood grain one. Oh, there's also two USBs here. So you get 4 USBs in total, which is nice. And I think it's the 3.0 because it's blue. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 3.0. The bottom of it, got these nice rubber feet so that it doesn't slip off your entertainment center. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, let's get everything on frame. Now, it's nice that they brought this into the modern era because it is hard to play Atari games nowadays with the original stuff because, you know, the Atari system is not, it's over 30 years old, so it's not the most reliable system anymore. It's kind of hard to find one that's not kind of gone through its age and stuff, and, you know, not needing repairs or anything. And also, it's kind of hard to hook up to a modern TV, so although if you play Atari, you might want to have the more authentic experience in playing it on one of those old crappy TVs, as crappy TVs equal better experience for those older consoles like that. But now, why would you want to buy this? Now, honestly, this is hard to recommend people because it does do a lot of things that a modern system would do, and it's something that people would like if you wanted to play some games, play some indie titles, play some of the Atari stuff, like the old Atari stuff, on a better screen. You got the PC mode, you have all those streaming services and Discord right onto the system. And with PC mode, you could put the Windows on there and put Steam in there. But for all of that, I think, like, while it's a jack of all trades, I really hate this quote, but I feel like it suits it here. It's a jack of all trades, but master of none. I think my biggest thing is that there's no game like how Nintendo, like Sony and Microsoft have for their systems. Like, this doesn't have like It's Mario or Master Chief or Nathan Drake, that game that's exclusive to Atari that makes you want to buy the system. And I feel like that's always been Atari's problem, is that they don't have that thing that's like, oh man, I need to play this game, but I need to buy this thing. And I don't know, I feel like that's just something that a console needs at least one or two of to get you started. And then, like, if you want to have like all these other games, whatever, that's kind of, you know, my only issue with it. Otherwise, it does all the stuff great. Like, it plays the streaming services just fine. It plays Atari games great. It plays the indie games great, but you probably already have better places to do those things if you're fans of those things. If you like having your streaming services like Netflix and Disney Plus and such, you probably already have a set-top box that does that just fine. If you want to play this for Atari games, you could play that on the Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, and PC. You can even emulate the stuff. Or if you want to be even more true to like the Atari way, literally you could buy an Atari for like $50 and the games for even like for pennies on the dollar. And, you know, like, they are not hard to get, and you could get it for way less than this. This is $400 what I paid for this. And so, yeah, I just, like, it's up to you whether or not you feel like it's overpriced or not. I'm not the best person to, I guess, judge that sort of thing. But, you know, for me, it's hard to recommend somebody this. Like, I would say I would not probably recommend someone this, just because, you know, unless you don't have any of those things, unless you don't have any of like the new systems or even the old ones like PS4 and Xbox One, if you don't have a PC, which I feel like that's a little hard to find someone who doesn't have those things, like any of those things, and you want this, then I mean, maybe this is for you. But yeah, it's just, even the PC mode, that's like the only thing that's unique to this. That would be great, but I feel like it just won't be as good as like an actual gaming PC. Like, you could build a gaming PC for probably less, and it would probably do better than how this would perform. Like, this is not the most powerful system on the face of the planet, you know? I feel like it's either right on there or even a little under the Switch, and you know, so if in the Switch, some people feel like that's a little underpowered. So that's just kind of like I always say this on the channel, you have to make the judgment call on that. If what I've shown you, you feel like, this is for me, then I would say, you know what, go for it. But me personally, I wouldn't probably recommend this to somebody if they're looking to do a specific thing. But hey, you know, this is a pretty neat thing, and I'm glad that Atari at least tried to put something out there. I mean, I think it's nice, and I feel like some people will have enjoyment out of it and get something out of it. You could always do some pretty nice homebrewing stuff on here if you ever want to do that. And of course, there's, you know, doing the Twitch thing if you want to stream, that's there too. So I mean, final thoughts is just kind of up to you if you want to get this sort of thing. I'm happy I got it, because it's another thing to add to the collection of weird stuff that I own, especially for Atari, because I mean, I didn't think they were going to get any weirder than the Atari Jaguar. I mean, this kind of fits right up there. But let me know what you guys think. Just put your opinions in the comments below, and just tell me what's your favorite Atari thing. I've been Station X, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.